phone off of internet. What's going on, everybody? How are y'all doing tonight? Man, the chat is already active. That music is not supposed to be here now. Go bye-bye. There it goes. Hey, and it didn't even mess with me. I have a good stream bar going. Are you freaking kidding me? That's fantastic. So, like, my internet at home, they the like service provider, I have plenty of speed already, but they've like redone their stuff. I don't know. Y'all know I don't know anything about this type of shit. Like they've like redone all their crap, and now the package that I have got upgraded and like triple the speed of what I was using. So tonight's like the first night, and I was super worried because people have been like messaging on Facebook. Yes, that's still a thing apparently, and it's been like, hey, we're getting spotty service tonight on the internet and blah blah blah, and so I didn't tell Will that for fear that he just would have threw his hands up and said F it. So Thankfully, earlier while we were talking beforehand, he actually said, "Dude, I hope nothing goes wrong tonight." And I was like, "Dude, hey, me too." So, yeah. Anyways, thank you all for being here. If you could hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. We do this show every Wednesday at 8:45 p.m. Speaking of shows, tomorrow night, I'm so freaking excited. We have the spoiler cast, and it is for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. There are now five of us because Josh Ayers is going to be on there as well. You'll notice him in the chat. He's always around. He's always here. And he has been a Final Fantasy fan for a long, long time. What's up, Nate? Welcome. So, yeah, the thing you just saw, we do have memberships. You can pick up your own. People gift them. Any of it, all of it. You have a blast with that. Tomorrow night, like I said, it is a spoiler cast. You need to understand that going into it, if you come by and stop in, I'd love to see you, but there's a chance you're going to hear some stuff that might spoil the game. If that doesn't bother you, if you're not that type of person, please come by. If you are, then don't feel bad for not showing up or supporting it or whatever. Like, these are my favorite thing, one of my favorite things, probably the favorite thing I do on this channel. And this is going to be the third one we've done. And so I put a lot of effort into like getting the questions. I try to stay up to date on communication with all the guests and just make sure that it goes off great. Do not feel bad if you can't come. I don't want y'all to come in and hear us talking about something or referencing something that happened or that could spoil it or whatnot for you. So that is tomorrow night. Super happy. Already confirmed everybody today. And so here we go. We're going to be doing that tomorrow. You already saw Nate joined as a member. I do have a member goal every week now. I shoot for 5 members, whether they're gifted or people pick up their own. Either way, that way the channel can kind of hit the goal that I have set for it. And yeah, outside of that, that's a lot of bullshit. That's a lot of housekeeping. And I appreciate all y'all who stay through that, to be quite honest. Let's get into the people who actually matter, though. What is up, chat? Goku1973, you were the first one in. You're making a habit of this. I like it. Toolman55, Quiet Doom, Michael Meridian. You have Harry Tran, which, dude, Harry, I love that you like said hi and all that, but I still need the engines for my Honda. I still need them. And I know you got them. I know they're down in your garage, and I need them. Toretto said he's going to sick his whole family on me if I don't get them. Anyways, if you don't catch that reference, I'm super, super old. RPG88, Will 777. Well, that's cheating. You're in the Discord. You're in the panel too. James Williams, Satya, the whole slate, Nadella. What is going on, man? Happy to see you again. Nate and Twisted Sin. What's going on? That's a name I don't ever get tired of seeing. Why the fuck are they remastering Horizon? Well, you know what? Let's talk about it because those are some of our topics tonight. I and everybody else and their mother is tired of hearing the same recycled nonsense and bullshit about the PS5 Pro, so we're not going to be talking about it tonight. Until we get some more information, I'm not going to speak where there is nothing new to speak on. And right now the market is being given exactly what Sony has set up for them to get. And so I want people to get their hands on it. I want to be able to hear some more stuff about it, see these games in actual action, not just 6 seconds here, 7 seconds here, freeze frame this, all like that's fun and those videos are cool to watch and I've already made my opinion on it, so whatever I see doesn't really matter at this point. There's nothing that I feel like needs to be covered right now on it, and honestly pointing out how bad off the other sides are right now and how much they're attacking PlayStation and like Sony fans and PlayStation gamers and all that, it's fuck that. We can leave that bullshit over there. Tired of this waiting BS? I know, right, dude? I know, but But at the same time, it's okay to not speak when there's nothing else to speak on. That's why I don't even think I put PS5 Pro in any of the hashtags for the video. Like that's not what we're here for tonight. Happy to see a lot of y'all in the chat are super excited about it, still going off on it. We will have our moments to puff out our chest. What is up, Bender? Look, if this Horizon Remaster fixes creepy child Aloy character models, it's worth it. I, I kind of agree with that because those were creepy as shit. So let's get into the topics for tonight. Let me pull this up. Oh my god, where is it? Where is it? Hang on. There it is. Sorry, I moved some stuff around. Okay. So tonight's topics are how bad PlayStation 5 has dominated Xbox globally. It's official. Xbox is done. They've left. They're out. They no longer are focusing on the console. It is a foregone conclusion at this point. They will always offer, I think, something as like a name brand style point of origin, I guess. But their shit's going everywhere, and they have been dog walked around the globe now, and we have the facts to back this up finally. And so we're going to be talking about that. Remakes and remasters. I feel like we've covered this before, and we've talked about it before, but this is also going to kind of be the coming soon section of tonight. You know, you saw it on the thumbnail, and I really want to cover some of the games that are coming out that aren't getting just a ton of press. One of them was actually announced today. The other one is going to be a very big indie title. Hang on, I said that wrong. Not that aren't getting a ton of press, but Freedom Wars is an indie game. Awaken, Astral Sword is an indie game. The only one that's a big, huge AAA IP is Horizon Remastered. And so those are kind of the three games we're going to be talking about tonight. Give one of those a really awesome platform, and talk about why we're okay with some things getting remastered. I was talking to Fornitron about this, about the difference between what I consider a remake versus what I consider a remaster. And so because there are some games that are called remakes that I don't consider that. And so we're going to talk about that a bit tonight, a lot with some of these new games that are coming out. And then we will also be talking about something that happened last Thursday. So my show was Wednesday. Last Thursday, we wake up and at 10 something in the morning, we find out that Microsoft has laid off another 650 people within its gaming division due to the Activision Blizzard deal. It is an article by Paul Tassi from Forbes. Love it or hate it, this is going to be an interesting breakdown of an article. Because his Microsoft love absolutely shows through, and it's kind of funny. And so, I'm sorry, that's another podcast. Do they still have a show? I think they do. Anyways, they have a... he has the article on it. He does have some things in there that we're going to kind of highlight. Then we're going to be talking about how Diablo 4 makes filthy money and has made... I thought people were smarter. I thought that people would see a $50, $60 skin for a fucking horse and go, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. What's going on, Chris? What's going on, Nelson Gaming Culture? This is cool. Sorry, guys. I'm amped tonight. Wara, you made it. That's awesome. I've shouted out Josh twice and haven't seen him once. So... he'll be here. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anybody? Nope. RPG88, Chris Coleman, Bender, Warwana. Yes. Okay. And so yeah, that's kind of what we're talking about tonight. There is a couple other things that we could talk about, possibly get into. The red team is making quite a fucking splash today on social media, so we could talk about that. We have enough piss and shit in our own backfield to go fucking somebody else's. So we might get there, we might not. What is up, JC 2013? Nothing wrong with that, Thrifty? Nothing wrong with what? Oh, you might be a little back in the stream. I don't know. Outsider Gaming Night, welcome in. Damn, guys, we got 28 people in the first 15 minutes. Holy shoosh. Wow. That is awesome, guys. Hit that like button. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate that. All right, Will, how are you, sir?
I am good. What's up, chat? I'm good, Bricky, man. Just gaming, enjoying, re-enjoying. I don't know if that's the word. Re-enjoying some of the games I've beat before, and you
Have
know,
you already ran through? Are you the only gamer I know that doesn't have a backlog?
no, I have a backlog. I go by I go by feel. So for example, I'm replaying
Like Ray Charles at a
Uncharted.
strip club.
Yeah,
Go by
right. I'm
feel.
playing Uncharted, and I wasn't planning on it, but I don't know. I just got the mood for it, and I've been playing that for the last few days. I think I'm about halfway done now, but I also started the Plucky Squire yesterday.
the
Game
the Lucky Splier.
the Plucky Squire.
Yeah, I
Game
got
is
you.
really good, man. Not good. No, it's good. It's unique. It's doing some new stuff that I haven't seen in gaming, and I'm really enjoying that. It's not a game that I can just pound out hour after hour after hour. So I've been doing like an hour here, an hour there, and I've also been digging into some Vampire Survivors. I don't know what it is about this game. It's like a mobile game.
I know it's the gameplay loop. I played it on mobile. It is the gameplay loop.
Yeah. Uh, I
It's
like playing on the
stupid.
console. It feels way better on mobile. It feels like it's a delay of sorts. But
Okay.
well, yeah, I've been playing those. I do have other games like Star Wars, whatever it's called, that I started, but I just haven't been playing it. It's moving too slow for me, and maybe I'll jump into it later. Me and Henry have been hitting Space Marine pretty hard. We just finished the PvE missions. Now we're waiting on Remnant 2 DLC that comes out Tuesday. So a lot of gaming going on, a lot of gaming stuff coming, a lot of DLCs, a lot of remakes, a lot of that stuff. So
Yeah. Hey, content. Give me content. Give me content for my games. Give me gaming content. That's all I want, really. Like, so it's yes, I want new games.
Astrobot beat that, got the platinum over the weekend, so that was fun.
Yeah, you were playing that one like pretty like you did that all the way through, didn't you? Like you didn't take a break or anything. Like not saying you played
Except
it
to
all in like
play,
one set like
no,
setting.
no, no. Well, it took me a week, yeah, it took me 8 days to beat, and the only game I played outside of Astrobot was Space Marine 2, and that was a co-op with Henry.
Nice.
That's it. So I I used to do that a lot where I would just pick up the one game, focus on the one game. But with so much flavor out there, it's hard for me to stick to that now. So now I kind of go where the wind takes me. If I'm feeling a shooter, I jump into something else. If I'm feeling action adventure, I jump into whatever I feel like. But I don't like to stray out more than like two, 3 games at a time. I feel like now I'm in a pretty good situationship with games where I usually have like two main games going and then something like Vampire Survivors in the background or Power Wash
Did
Simulator
you
in the
just say
background.
situationship?
Yeah, I couldn't think of a good word for where I'm at,
That
so I
was
kind of jump in
fantastic.
between.
We're just making up words tonight. I like it. That was good. A
Just
situationship.
taking a little bit out of the social media lingo.
Please don't.
Uh, I normally just stick to one, but since there's been so much to game on, I kind of took on two main games, and then I have one in the background, which is kind of like my chill game or the game where I'm just trying to like not think, which is like Power Wash Simulator, Vampire Survivor. So, but yeah, man, there's a lot of good eating out there. So the guys that are saying, "Oh man, there's nothing to game on," I don't understand where that's coming from. I don't. I mean, I get why they say that, but it's like, bro, open up your eyes, man. There's stuff out there.
Yeah, and speaking of stuff being out there, I have um, been playing Astrobot way more than I anticipated. I was actually wanting to go back to AC Mirage, and my son, God love him, he restarted my entire save file. And so, thankfully, I went down from like 175, 185, something like that. I was in the one, two, three. I was in the fourth section. So there's five main planets or main galaxies. Well, six if you include the one, two, three, four, six, seven. Anyways, I was on the second to the last one, and I had like 175. I think it was 175. Anyways, I had to go back down to 40 because I had a save file that was just for the kids, and then I had a save file that was for me because I'm dad and I wanted to platinum that bastard, but I also wanted them to be able to play it and not have to be held up by, oh, don't play that level. Daddy might need it for, because I want to play every level. I want to make it all fresh and don't want to have to go back through it. I want to see if I can challenge myself and find everything without spending the 200 coins to get the little cheat thing. And like, there's just a lot of stuff, and I wanted to be able to play it. Anyways, my lovely, lovely spouse, she is amazing. She is beautiful. She's awesome. She started the game up for him, got him to the loading screen, and not loading screen, sorry, got him to the landing screen, and handed him the controller. And then the next thing I know, I'm seeing the intro play, like the intro to the game where the little green alien in the spacecraft comes out. And I was like, Emmett, what did you do? And he was like, I'm playing PlayStation. I said, no, 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 I see that. Can I have the controller? So I reset the game real quick, went back in, and sure enough, he had started a brand new save file. So I had to go back down to 40, and I am now up to 201. Again, and that's the little astrobots, these little bots you have to save. Because, as I've said, the the point of Astrobot is to teach us that even bots need saving, and if you work hard enough and try hard enough, you too can save your own bot. This
Why
is
don't you just
present.
put them on their own profile?
Uh, I don't know. I could. Yeah.
I mean, I got my kid's profile and I have like all the age restriction and child restriction set up for him.
Well, heck,
So
it's not even that. I just didn't even think about that. Like you said it, and my first thing was, that's the extra work. I got to download something, but I don't. Like you just
no,
literally just set it up and it's there.
the only thing that kind of sucks, kind of, is they can on their profile they can only play the games that are downloaded on the system. So if he wants to download something like a whatever, I don't know, Astrobot, you beat it, you delete it, he wants to go back to it, then you have to go to your profile, download the game, and then as soon as you start the download, then he can jump back in his profile, wait for the game to download before he can start it. So he can't just go into the library and look through the games. You actually have to do that through the main account. But besides that, I mean, if you already know the few games that he likes to play,
Well, yeah.
then you're solid.
Oh, dude, that's really cool. So the chat is brutal. Like, golly. Especially one of my overseas guys. Like, oh, dang. Josh Ayers said he'd be dead to me. Satya, Whole Slate, and Adela said put him up for adoption.
Well, this is Thrifty's fault. It's not the kid's fault.
No, it's my wife's fault. She gave him the controller and walked away. We we deflect blame to the wife. I wasn't even in the living room at the time. I wasn't there. I, in the words of Martin Lawrence, was at a barbecue. It wasn't me. But, anyways, no harm, no foul. I just had to put some more time back into the game, and I was really dreading the triangle, circle, square challenges, and honestly, second time through, they're pretty freaking simple. Like, once you get the timing down on them, it's like as long as you don't take a break. Like I think it would have been different if I said fuck it and like stopped playing for a while and then came back to it. It would be a little different. But right now my timing on that game is so like fine tuned because I've been playing it nonstop for like 2 weeks. Well, since release actually, and so I'm breezing through things like the level I talked about last week with the little armadillo. it's one of the challenges. I think it's one of the triangle challenges. I did it first try on the way back through, and so like they get the if you have to do them again, they're super simple and actually kind of enjoyable. Like I'm ready for them to add the speed runs and the challenges with the next patch that comes out. So or next game update that comes out because some of those I really want to see how fast I can get it done. And like uh, there's one. Anyways, never mind. This isn't an Astrobot stream. Dadgum. I'm just going to start to keep talking about Astrobot. What's everybody saying? Be safe, Nate. Oh, what's he doing? Driving now. So I'll just be listening. Hey, man, be safe, man. Roads are crazy. Be safe. My save file. Yeah, no shit. Uh, library? Library? Did I say library? Uh-huh. JC. Ouch. Didn't make them an account. Should have done that months ago. Yeah, my bad. It's just an accident. Uh, get to the cross ones. I don't know what the fuck a cross is, sir. Not in my PlayStation world, at
About
least.
X.
No, I know what he's saying. I just refuse to acknowledge it.
What do you say?
5 beer max on them symbol challenges, bro. 5 beers and a half a bowl. I get it though. I set my girls up on the very first save file, so it's easier for them to get that. Yeah, that's where their save file was. My son is 5, and he hasn't played video games. This is his first time playing, and so he didn't even think. But anyways, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. I really want to get the platinum in this. I don't usually get the platinum in games unless I really want to. Like I have 2 platinums, and I'm so close on like 4 other games, but I don't really care, so I don't want to get them. But this one, for some
Well,
reason, I want the platinum.
with Astrobot, as if you continue on with getting all the bots and doing all the, square, triangle, planets,
Yeah.
by the time you're done, you really only have to go out of your way to get maybe 4 or 5. And I guarantee you, out of those 4 or 5, maybe 2, you would have been like, "Oh, I could have got that. I just chose not to."
Oh,
Inadvertently
that's
not
cool.
knowing that you could have got it. It's just gamer instinct.
Well,
Sometimes
and
your gamer instinct kicks in.
well, and once I got so funny enough, once I got one trophy for when you're like on the desert or the beach planet where you crash land, the crash site. When you're on there, I got a trophy for like hitting something, like hitting one of the bots, and they did something, and it gave me a trophy for it. Ever since then, every time I go back through and I whack each bot once just to see if I get anything extra. Just to see if I unlock a trophy or get a gold. Or I'm very abusive to my little astrobots. They're so great. They just smile and keep going. There are some of them that will try to stab you though, and that's pretty funny. Like there's a lot of really cool interactive stuff in that game, and like it's a game that I can talk about and smile the whole time because it's such a fun experience. And I do have a review coming out. I want to get a little bit more footage, but like I said, I've been kind of sucked into Astrobot. But I have a review coming out of Akimbot. It was a game. It is technically, I have to say, technically it was a sponsored review. Somebody did purchase the game for me. Now, there was no pretense or anything like that, but I do have that coming out soon. Also, guys, yeah, sleeve monkeys and then topics. So, sleeve monkeys, here they are. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Yep, ta-da. Okay, so these are the monkeys who are in their sleeves. These are every single one of the people who have either been gifted a membership or have their own. We celebrate y'all. Thank you so much. Means the world to me. I'm floored every time. I always want to shout y'all out. I forgot to do it at the beginning, so right here is a great time to do so. Yes, Michael. How is Diablo 4 making filthy money? What microtransactions are there in the game? I refuse to play it. It's just Diablo 3.5, and I do not like Diablo 3. Well, okay. Do you feel better, Michael? You seemed like you needed to get that off your chest. Like, I like that. Like, dang, yes, please. Oh man, but yes, these are speaking of sleeve monkeys. He is one of the sleeve monkeys, and so yeah, thank y'all so much. And with that, let's go ahead and dive in. So actually, you know what? Let's go backwards. What's up, Henry Heck? Hey man, great stream earlier. Great stream. Very good. Interacted really well. I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun for me. You did awesome. Oh, speaking of friends of the channel, I have it set up a bit differently this week because the more I got to thinking about it, Will is the longest running panel member on here. So I put his information at the very top, I believe. I believe it is. Let me pull it up, pull up the description. Yes, his is at the very top under Friends of the Channel. Will777JP on YouTube, and his Twitter is right there. Then we have Based Game Reviews. They have actually released 2 video reviews this week. Go check those out. They would have had a They would have had not a live show, a podcast, but well, stuff happens. I heard from a source that it we're not blaming Jimmy. There was a source that I got that from. Henry Heck, his channel is listed on there. And then, of course, we have the Discord. You can follow me on Twitter. Or since you're already here, you can hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to support the channel kind of indirectly, but very much directly, my wife has updated her website with new product and inventory, so you can go check that out. It's roundaboutsoapery.com. We ship to all of the continental United States. And so, yes, with that, now that all that shit is done, let's get into Microsoft. So, we are going to dive into the very first topic, and it is that Microsoft canceled another 650 jobs. Is that coming through blurry? Why is that coming through so blurry? Oh dear God. Hang on. Sorry guys, give me just a half a second. Sorry, I'm having a moment. Just trying to make sure this is coming in good for y'all, because on my end it's coming in blurry as all heck. And so I just want to see this. Come on. Come on. Yeah, that is kind of blurry. Weird. Okay. I will figure that out for next stream and see why it's coming through all weird like. But you get the gist. You get the idea. Let me try to take away this real quick. I like seeing YouTube chat right there, so let me do it this way. Alert box is fine. Text box looks... No, that doesn't clear up anything. What in the freak is going on? Sorry guys, this is going to bother the crap out of me. PS5 dominates. Okay, there's that. Show additional settings. Oh, blah. That doesn't help at all. Okay, whatever. Here we go. Here's how we're going to do this. All right, so this is basically saying, like I said, Microsoft laid off 650 more Xbox employees. This is from Paul Tassi, senior contributor over at Forbes. A beleaguered Xbox had more bad news to share with its employees today that after the company laid off 1,900 Xbox and Activision Blizzard workers in January of 2024, that is 9 months ago for those keeping track, it's now adding 650 layoffs to those, an additional 3% of its workforce. Okay, all right. Xbox and Activision Blizzard workers. Okay, so let's do some math real quick because that's the first thing that caught my eye. Because I want to know. I've always wondered how many kind of employees that they had, and right here we get an answer. Roundabouts. So you can do, 650 times 33.3. You get 21,645. Then you can add the 1900. That is 2354. Sorry, 23,545. Now, what's really funny is that means they've killed 11% almost. I think it's 11%. 650, 21. No, I'm sorry. Just under 10%. My bad. No? No, just over. Yeah. Sorry, I should have done this math beforehand. That's my bad. Because, yeah, 26. Yeah, sorry. Right at about 11%. 11% of the employees gone since January. Now, I know that people claim redundancies. I don't know if Paul does that here. I can't remember because I read the article like a couple days ago. But you got over 10% redundancies? That can't just be because of Activision Blizzard. It can't. Like, surely y'all have to have people that are what is it? One person grabs one, the other one grabs the other cheek, and like one person to spread. Like, come on. How many redundant people do y'all have? Because that's a lot. Because 11% doesn't sound like, hey, we're just getting rid of a few redundancies. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But let's keep going. The head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, announced the cuts again, citing the post-acquisition era of the company. Here is his full memo to staff. For the past year, our goal has been to minimize disruption while welcoming new teams and enabling them to do their best work. As part of aligning our post-acquisition team structure and managing our business, we have made the decision to eliminate approximately 650 roles across Microsoft Gaming, mostly corporate and supporting functions to organize our business for long-term success. I know this is difficult news to hear. We are deeply grateful for the contributions of blah 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 blah. In the U.S., we're supporting them with exit packages that include severance, extended healthcare, and outplacement services to help with their transition. Outside the U.S., packages will differ according to location, which basically means whatever we're forced to do is what we're going to do. Because why would a corporation do anything more? And I don't know if Sony would handle it that way, but honestly, I would end up saying probably the same exact thing. Like, to expect a corporate company to not try to take the easy way out and or just do the bare minimum, you're fooling yourself. These people don't give a shit about you or me or their employees most of the time. Holy crap, 9.5K. Satya has ABK at 13,000 employees in 2022. Huh. Interesting. War of One, a member for 4 months. Thank you, sir. That is... Or not Satya, Statista. Okay. That's weird. So 650, an additional 3% of its workforce. Okay. I, I mean, somebody's math ain't fucking mathin'. That's all I'm saying. So, unless post-acquisition or leading up to acquisition, they gained 10,000 employees. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That's across Xbox, Activision, and Blizzard. So that's like everything. You lie, Sony loves me? Whoa, what happened? Does Sony love somebody? Oh, yeah, no, from what I said, yeah, no. What's up, guys? I'll send you a link. Thanks, yeah, send that to me. That's interesting. So you have all of that. With these changes, our corporate and supporting teams and resources are aligned for sustainable future growth and can support better our studio teams and business units with programs and resources that can scale to meet their needs. Separately, as part of running the business, there are some impacts to other teams as they adapt to shifting priorities and manage the life cycle and performance of games. No games, devices, or experiences are being canceled, and no studios are being closed as part of these adjustments today. Great, so you're just thinning out the teams working on them. Cool, got it. Throughout our team's history, we have had great moments, and we have had challenging ones. Mm-hmm. Yep, yes, that is a true statement. I'm not going to pick on you. That is a factual statement. Today is one of those challenging days. I know that we are going. I know I know that going through more changes like this is hard, but even in the most trying times, this team has been able to come together and show one another care and kindness as we work to continue delivering for our players. That is the equivalent of, guys, we're a family. No, we're not. Pay me, assholes. We appreciate your support as we navigate these changes, and we thank you for your compassion and respect for each other. Yep. Okay, cool. Great. Thank you. The exact nature of these cuts, this is now back to Paul Tassi. The exact nature of where these cuts have happened is as of yet unclear, and as of right now, I still believe it's unclear. But more information will no doubt be trickling out over the course of the day. The last time this happened earlier this year, the FTC filed a letter complaining that the newly revealed information contradicts Microsoft's representation in this proceeding, relating to their previous protestations of the acquisition deal. We'll see if this new round of layoffs resparks things with them. There are two main issues. First, being that large-scale layoffs are frequently a portion of large-scale mergers like this, and that's responsible for at least part of what we're seeing here. But there are plenty of other issues with Xbox right now that may need restructuring to address. A poor console showing this generation, a limit growth on Xbox Game Pass subscribers, a new first-party game philosophy that is shipping out some of the biggest titles to PlayStation. Not the biggest, not yet, but they're coming. There's a lot going on. It is deeply unfortunate that hundreds, now thousands of workers caught up in this 2-year stretch where mass video game industry layoffs are more than common. That is probably one of the best articles I've heard from this jackass. Literally one of the best. Like, not even kidding. Kudos to him. I feel like he ended that with some teeth. And, I shit on him a couple weeks ago. I'm going to go ahead and give him his flowers where they're due. I think this was a decently written article. Uh, and Whew, 10% of your workforce, though. Jesus. I mean, guys, in the words of Jez, what are we doing here? Like, right? Like, how many more people, how many more, Paul Tassi said it great, how many more of these things are going to get restructured? It's like if you ever watch The Quartering and like a new sitcom or something is getting like redone or revisited. You can always tell if it's going to be shit because the studio and the writers always talk about reimagining, and he has like this little button that he presses during the video that's like reimagine. So I feel like that right now. Like Xbox is just going, we're restructuring. It's fine. Look the other way. No big deal. We're restructuring. Everything's okay. So, Will, what do you think? Are we going to see more layoffs? Are we going to see more stuff go on? What do you think?
Well, something that Mr. Paul didn't say on there, which I mean, I don't blame him for not saying, um, but this is just me, being the conspiracy theorist. On Monday, Microsoft spent $60 billion on stock buyback, which is about 1.9% of their stock. And they increased their stock dividends by, I think it was like 8 cents or 9 cents or 7 cents, somewhere in there, 8 cents probably. And what is the fastest way to get that bump in money?
Fire people.
Exactly. So, is it a coincidence that they laid off, 650 people on Thursday, and then Monday they immediately spent 60 billion? Who knows, right? Could be just a coincidence, but it's
No,
just
it's not.
once again just Microsoft, Xbox being sleazy as always. And look, it's just business as usual with these companies.
So if the FTC does so this has been what PlayStation gamers have been like. Listen, guys, this is what we tried to tell everybody. This is what the FTC poorly tried to convey and get across. But the only thing the FTC can do is fine them. Like that's it. They can't.
Well,
They're
not
not going to
even.
reverse this deal.
They can't even do that because all Microsoft has to do is say we laid them off for X reason. That's it. They don't have to. There's nothing the agency can do at all. There's nothing. And that's one of the that's what people don't understand about this acquisition stuff is that yeah, they put it, in the contract or they make the regulation or the rule, but especially when it comes to employees, because Microsoft could easily say, what was the word you use? Grabbing each other's asses.
Redundancy.
Redundancy. Jeez. All they have to say, oh, yep, these are redundant jobs, and this isn't really part of the acquisition. These are people that we were planning on moving to different departments, and nothing to do with the acquisition. We're gonna take X amount of employees and move into somewhere else and get better use out of them. But because of redundancies, those positions closed out, or those opportunities closed out, and unfortunately we had to lay people off. And that's all they have to say, and they get away with murder basically. So when these acquisitions are happening, if it it doesn't get stopped right then and there, they're basically gonna do whatever they want later on. And people are so short-sighted when it comes to a lot of things, but especially in gaming, which is odd because gaming is a long game, right? Like they start making the game now, they won't be done till 2030. It's like so it's such a long game that we really have to look at, but for some reason the Xbox gamer just looked so tomorrow, right? Like today, tomorrow, next month. And look, even with those expectations, they still didn't get shit, And
Mm.
now so many people in the gaming industry that work for a living in this industry are now being laid off because Microsoft wanted to boost their profits. And even though they're not in the best place business wise financially in the Xbox division, they still think that they have redundancies. It's like, okay, well, if you're a football coach and you have a playbook and you use the same 20 plays, what Microsoft did is, hey, we have another 800 plays that we can use, but instead they're shrinking down to 10, thinking that that's going to give them the success. It's like, bro,
Mm.
use everything in your playbook to get that success. So I've been saying this since forever, that at what point is it can't be ignorance, it has to be malicious.
Yeah, it's we've had that conversation several times over the past year. Like, because it started out, okay, they're either dumb or they're geniuses. And then it started out, okay, they're either dumb or they're doing it on purpose. Then it became, okay, they're either dumb or they're doing it on purpose with harmful intent. Like, it just. And now I just think they're dumb and doing it with harmful intent. Like, that's just. I think they've gone both now. Yeah, the FTC could push for MS gaming to be spun out of MS, but I doubt it will happen. Yeah, no, it's not happening. Also, guys, I do not know why everything is coming through so fucked up right now. My stream is not normally this blurry, right? Like, it's not normally this bad, and it's out at 1080. It's 60. Uh, in the words of P-Rock, I got 60 frames, no lag, like 60 FPS, no drop frames, no nothing on my end. Everything is going great. Stream quality is good, and it looks fuzzy as all hell. And I don't know why. I didn't do anything. But it's only fuzzy on YouTube. Like, it looks great on my side, like on my screen. I don't know. I have to figure that out. It's the article. Oh, okay. What if I switch? Does that look better? I wonder if it's because I'm using Chrome this week. I think it could be because I'm using Chrome. Anyways, who gives a shit about that? Y'all can still hear us. Hell, I've done this stuff on my PlayStation without this shit before. I'm gonna do this crap again. All right. So yeah, that's kind of it's depressing. It's sad. I don't really give two fuck shits about ABK. Uh, but the reason why I found this interesting, and the reason why it really popped up on my radar, was because of what happened shortly after. So, Will, you talked about how they had this, bump in the buyback and all that other shit. And Fastest way to make money is to fire people. It's the best way to make your bottom line look good in a hurry. And then I was like, damn, they must not be making any money. And then this is going to segue us right into the next topic. So let's go ahead and exit out of this one. And ta-da! Blizzard reportedly made $150 million in Diablo 4 microtransactions. Over 1 billion with a B total lifetime revenue. Now, you read that and automatically I think, bro, you have no idea. No, that does sound fucked up. What's up, Mr. Grimm? If they're going to find those huge corporations, they need to find them an amount that really is going to hurt them and make them learn their lesson. A lot of these fines are pocket change. Dude, yes, it's like when Apple got fined like $20 million by Europe. Like that doesn't do shit. Like that's an
Side note,
hour.
today I read an article. Speaking of the alphabet companies, this dude got arrested because he created fake invoices and billed Facebook and I think it was Google. I think for Facebook it was like 20 million and like Google was like 50 some million. Whatever. It totaled like between all the the false invoices that he did, it was like $500 million. And you know what happened? They paid it. They just paid it. They're like, "Oh, here's a bill, 20 million, no problem. Just pay it."
There you
I'm
go.
like, if I'm like $30 over my light bill, like I'm picking up the phone and calling my energy company, like, "Hey guys, is there like an upcharge this month or what?" But no, not them. It was like, "Hey, we have some Taiwanese computer company." That's what it was. He created some fake LLC from Taiwan who's a computer or something
But they caught
manufacturer,
him.
whatever. Yeah, they caught him, but not for like a year. Like this dude was living life of the rich and famous. Literally, they just chump change. Oh, 20 million, no problem. Oh, 30 million, 50 million, no problem. So yeah, he's absolutely right. It's just chump change for them. So
It
to get
really
penalized,
is.
it has to make sense. So, but the question then comes into play. Excuse me. Microsoft being a $3 billion
You need some of my
worth,
tea
or,
that I'm sipping on over here?
oh no, I'm good. $3 trillion company in value, like how much? 500
Mm.
billion? Is that enough to hurt them? And at what point is it excessive? Like there's a lot of in questions. I think that these fees or these fines definitely need to be brought up. Like for example, with the ABK deal, it should have been brought up. Hey, if you guys do this, then that's $100 billion, fee. And if Microsoft, wait, no, that's too much. Okay, then you can't buy it. Because
Well,
that I think that would really hold them accountable
and like,
versus
listen, the NFL does stuff like. So, hear me out. The reason why I say that is because you almost want to say, hey guys, we should start some sort of organization that could kind of oversee these big, massive mega companies. And then somebody looks at you and go, well, we have that. We have the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. And then automatically my mind went, well, hell, the NFL has a commission. They kind of do the same thing. They fine players when they don't do stuff, and the first fine is usually always like a slap on the wrist, like a $5,000, $10,000 fine. Second fine in the same season, it goes up to like 50, 60,000. Third fine in the same season, they start to take away game checks. Fourth fine, and you're looking at like full on suspension, can't play, can't do this. Hell, the Carolina Panthers ended up getting a. Sorry, guys, sports is going to relate here to gaming. But the Carolina Panthers ended up getting, like, they scouted and tried to, like, communicate with players before you were supposed to be able to, and they got a draft pick taken away. Like, so when they're all picking the new players to be on their team, they missed out on one of what could have been a good player or a star player or a dominant player. They lost a second round pick. And, like, so I agree that these companies need to absolutely be held more accountable on the financial side. But you could very easily do like a tiered system. Like, hey guys, 12 months. You get 12 months. Infractions start over in January. You do this, you got this. It's a little piddly fine. If we catch you again, you get triple, double, quadruple that. If we do it again, you have to give us 10% of your revenue. Like, make it just like, listen, if you fuck up 3 times, You got to give us 10. But we're worth a trillion. Don't give a shit. We're in debt 7. So don't care. Have fun. Don't be assholes. Don't lie. I don't know. Don't hit somebody with your helmet. Like there's there's accountability needed. And I don't think, and that's not where I was planning on taking this, but like I don't think that I don't think the government gives two shits. To be quite honest, I think most of it, at least the government over here, I hear in other parts of the country they actually give a shit about the consumer, or at least appear to. I want to know what the fuck that'd be like. But over here we don't have that. We have a FTC that kind of gets bought and paid for, and when they're not bought and paid for, as we saw with their ABK uh, questioning, prosecution, trial, court, whatever, they're pretty much inept at legalities. It's like we had Amber Heard's lawyers on our side over here. It was so terrible.
Well,
And
Thrifty, the difference is that, and the reason why the government is so active, and look, I blame the customer base, right? Because, and I'm not talking about this situation specific, but in most other countries, the government's heavily involved because, like, America's a huge market, man. I mean, we're the biggest portion of most companies. So companies should be freeing the clientele. And if we stand up to some bullshit and say, you know what, we're not going to spend money on your bullshit, that fine per se is way more than what any government can impose on a company. I mean, you can have companies fail, and I think that's where we need to just smarten up as a consumer base and say, you know what, we're not going to spend our dollars on this product, on this company, just like how we do with companies that we really like, even though their products aren't the best, but we like whatever they stand for. So we like to support them as best as we can. And we sometimes buy their items when there's others in the markets that are slightly better, but because we like them, we support them. And I think we need to do way more of that and,
Imagine that.
and stop relying. Not saying that the government is, of course, they should be doing their damn job. They should be looking at this stuff through a, fine tooth comb, but we know they're not. So we have to depend on ourselves in certain situations and really, team up here and work as a team to make the changes that need to happen.
hmm. So Warawana said, in my opinion, it needs to be jail time. Money is meaningless. I kind of agree. What's up, Zero Steel? We also had, I believe it was Outsider Gaming Night, or no, it was Michael. Michael asked what they're charging for in the game. So let's go ahead and start reading this. We kind of got off on a little tangent, but Blizzard reportedly made $150 million in D4 microtransactions, over $1 billion lifetime total revenue. That's pretty damn cool. Let's read. Also, this is by Kyle Adam? We'll go with that. Sorry if I butchered the name and you happen to somehow hear this. Holy crap. Josh Ayers, member for 4 months. Can't wait to see you, man. Lunchy Sky, I saw you come in. Zero Still, I just got you. Cool, cool, cool. So Blizzard's long-running Demon Slaying series continues to be a golden goose with a reported revelation that its latest action RPG offering has bagged over $150 million in microtransactions alone from Diablo 4 players. In addition, the title has broken that lofty video game sales ceiling, garnering over $1 billion total lifetime revenue. Now, at first, I was like, there's no way in hell. They had to say, like, even as I've been talking, I've been rereading this, and that billion lifetime revenue, I'm sitting here and like, damn, there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell that they can make $1 billion off of this game. Right?
They did 666 million the first day or week.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, because that's what it is. You recall they made 666 million on Diablo 4 in just 5 days, largely from pre-orders. So like, that's so wait, hang on. So let's say the average, and I'm not dumb enough to think that most people didn't get the ultimate deluxe lick your. Never mind. People spend money on this game. I understand that. It's Blizzard, it's World of Warcraft, it's Diablo, it's that crowd of people. These are the sweatiest of the sweats who really get into Diablo 4. And I'm not knocking them. Pick your poison. Whatever the heck you want to do is up to you. But I will tell you, like, the South Park memes are of people who play Blizzard games. That's all I'm saying. And irrefutable. Irrefutable. Mainly because we don't have, data on each one. Not because I'm completely right. But it's still irrefutable. So let's do this real quick. 666 divided by, let's say, divided by 100. That's 6.6 million copies of just the game. Just the game. That's absolutely fucking nuts. In a weekend. But then I started thinking, holy cow. So, if a $70 game, if a $70 game sells 10 million copies, that company just made $700 million. Nearly a billion. Throw in a few microtransactions, throw in a few skins, throw in a couple dangly balls for your horses, and boom, you're there. So, on one end, I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. On the other end, about 15% of the sales of the game have been from microtransactions. Honestly, that's way less than what I thought it was going to be. Because if the game sales have crossed over the billion, that means the game has sold roughly 8.5 million. Okay, if we're taking the $100 valuation on the average cost of Diablo 4. And not including people like me who bought it used. So I understand that there'll be more players for Diablo, but I'm talking about we have money made versus what they made in microtransactions, left over with what they actually have from the game, which is about 8.5. Divide that by 100, you have 8.5 million copies sold. That's absolutely baffling. That 8.5 and a few microtransactions can get these companies $1 billion. So I'm kind of like hopeful with this because to me it says that people aren't spending as much as my little mind thinks they are, at least on certain microtransactions. I'm hoping it means that the microtransaction cash cows are starting to become lesser. I could be totally wrong. I probably am. But I mean, you got to think when you look at that number, microtransactions includes DLCs. It includes the uh, DLCs. It includes the stuff coming up. It includes all the skins, all the extra seasonal content, the season passes, all of that stuff. Or battle passes, season pass, whatever they call them in Diablo 4. I can't remember. And so it's just like 800 or 8.5 million people bought Diablo 4. Roughly. Probably numbers a little higher. Probably 9 million.
Yeah, I
Let me
think it's
see.
higher, bro. I don't think on average we're spending $100. I think maybe 80, 85 if we average it out. That's a 30% increase in averageness. But you're right. And also, I mean, 10% sounds about right on, you know, um,
Yeah, but hell, the DLCs are 29 or they were what, 20
40,
bucks? 40. Okay, so the
40.
DLC is 40. What were the season passes? What were those like
I don't know.
25?
I think they're like 20, $25. But remember, these companies charge what they think they can get away with. So once again, this is another thing with a customer using their wallet to speak. Just like how when we talking a little bit about remakes and remasters. I
Hmm.
mean, the customer base has spoken. People obviously want this stuff. Whether our sector of the gaming community finds it foolish to spend 30, $40 on a freaking horse skin or not, it's irrelevant because we're the minority. They're not making the majority of their money off us. Where we come into play is the word of mouth aspect of things, where we scream at the top of our lungs about how great a game is or a product, and that spreads. YouTubers start making videos, and the interest rises. I think that's where our value is. But as far as like cold hard cash and where the money's coming from, it's gonna be the casuals, man. And look, if the average person is buying 3 games per year, it makes a lot of sense that if Diablo's the game that you are gonna be playing, that you spend as much money on it as possible. Where maybe somebody like me and Thrifty, where I'll buy retail, Thrifty will buy it pre-owned, and that's where it ends. Maybe we might buy the DLC if we see the value in it, but that's kind of where we top out as far as spending goes. Where a casual might buy the ultimate deluxe with a year worth of freaking NBA TV and NFL ticket, Sunday ticket, and 2 freaking free cheeseburgers of McDonald's included, and then they also buy the season pass and the DLCs and all the content. They're only gonna get the money for that one person for that one game. That same person probably isn't gonna spend that same amount on multiple games. Where we, on the other hand, we'll spend just the 70, maybe 80 or 90 with the DLC, but we're doing that times how many games per year?
Well, sure, but there is also the thing of like, because Josh said, hey, he was like, you two are killing me. It's because of Game Pass. Well, that's why I left out monthly active users because I don't give a shit how many people downloaded it on Game Pass. I really don't. It doesn't that's not here or there. We're talking about how much money the game. This is one of the few times that I can look at a game that is now technically published by Xbox, like Microsoft, and I've been able to look at it and go, okay, I have a hard number here, $1 billion. I have another hard number. Hey, what did they make on microtransactions? 150 million. Cool. I can subtract those or subtract 150, get 800 or get 850 million. Then I can look and go, okay, on average, you had a $70 edition, an $80 edition, and a $119 edition. There were 4 editions, weren't there? 3 or 4? Anyways, regardless, you had all these other editions. Maybe my math is a little off, like Will said, probably is. Because I'm really just making all this shit up right on the fly. I wasn't planning on doing math and algebra tonight. But you have all these numbers now, and I can literally look at this and go, okay, 15% of their revenue from Diablo 4 has been microtransactions. That is super low in a game that's had 4 seasons release at 20 to 25 bucks a season.
According
That
to
is
who? To like what you feel it should have been, or somebody said that the average is 20% or something.
so you got to think if you have that many players, if okay, let's say it's even 7 million players. If you have 7 million people and 10% of them, or let's say 20% of them, purchase your season passes every season, you're now getting another $100 out of them.
Yeah, I don't think that the percentage stays consistent. I think that as the season goes, that 20% turns to 15. Season 3 goes down to 10.
Oh,
Season
you think it's been
4.
dropping and okay.
Yeah, I don't think that the same people that bought, it's just logical sense. Like player count goes down over time. It doesn't stay the same, and rarely does it
Mm.
go up.
So
It's
like
just
on
not a
October
common
7th,
thing.
on October 7th, it's going to go back up though because of
Yeah,
the
because of the DLC.
expansion. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like even in sales, I mean, look, the first day they made, or the first week they made 666 million, right? But then it took them a whole other year to get
Oh.
another 400 million. So I don't
And
think that.
like Wara just said, and he's kind of echoing what I said. 150 million for live service game with content being added each season is f all over 1 year, in my opinion. Seems like it was added to Game Pass because no one was playing. That kind of coincides exactly with kind of both of what I was saying and what Will was saying. Like, yeah.
Wouldn't it just be added a Game Pass because they milked it and then they just bought ABK? So something to feed them with. I mean, if you got the majority of your sales in the first, 3, 6 months, because this game just came on Game Pass this year. The game came out last summer. So I mean, it wouldn't cost Microsoft that much more And how many guys
No,
on
and it
Twitter,
exposes people to that purchase again. Like they
to
can,
that purchase again?
yeah, they can get that DLC. Like people,
Yeah.
and swear to God, I know I
Well, like
have a couple of
Starfield,
y'all.
bro.
Right, that's what I was gonna say, and I know I have a couple people
I'm one of them.
who got the game through Game Pass and paid the $40 to get it 3 days early.
I did. And you know what I ended up doing? I ended up, because I don't have Game Pass anymore, and I'm like, well, fuck the. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna
Now you
play the
had to buy
DLC,
Starfield.
but I bought a brand new copy on eBay for $17, which was actually a steal because if you look to buy it now, you're gonna be paying 40, $50 for a pre-owned copy of Starfield. But I paid $17, so out of pocket, I'm $57 for Starfield. So hey, it's not that bad. But yeah, no, absolutely, and that's another way to keep you in
Subscribe.
the system. Yeah, because I mean, I could have been like, well, I'll just pay. Well, not now with the increase, but I just on today, shout out to Warrior 64. I get so many deals from him. Today I bought a month of Game Pass Ultimate for $10. Now I'm not gonna use it yet. My son is like, hey, this game I want to play. I was like, fuck it, we'll just buy it, dude. We're not gonna get Game Pass, but I'm just gonna keep it in my back pocket for whenever I do want to use it. It's there. But yeah, people who don't know about these sales, which is a big portion of people. I mean,
Yeah.
you gotta think I'm a hardcore gamer, and I just found out about these types of things a few years ago. So the casuals don't know about that. So in their mind, they're like, "Oh shit, I want to keep playing, my DLC. I gotta subscribe to Game Pass so I can play it."
Oh, um, shoot. RPG88, thank you for the one gifted membership. You actually hit Raz, who is a member of the Discord, a newer member of the Discord. So, Jesus. Sorry, guys. I've been trying to lose my voice now for a solid week since the end of last show. And I have been doing everything I can. Like, I have not talked much today. I haven't. I can't because I was trying to save it for the show, and then we have the spoiler cast tomorrow night that's been planned for months in advance, or not months in advance, but the people knew I was doing it. I just had to beat the game, and so it's been in the works for a while, and I don't want to get rid of it and have to move it or anything. So, anyways, thank you RPG88. Wanted to shout that out. Uh, I really hope it is people speaking with their wallet and being like, you know what, we don't want this. Also, PoE comes out soon. PoE comes out very, very soon. You sound good, Thrifty. Thanks. I feel like I sound. Uh, oh, that dude passed away. That's sad. I was gonna say I feel like I sound like James Earl Jones, just a little higher pitched, because like everything's raspy right now. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Well, I'm out of it now. I gotta go make some more, but I have my hot tea, and I'm just gonna suck that down for the rest of the night. Pause. Okay, so moving on. Let's kind of continue this train of thought on you know people and money and purchasing and all of that stuff. Ha, you thought I was going to go somewhere else. No, we are going to discuss PlayStation and how they've kicked Xbox's ass globally because it's quite comical. This is going to be the funniest part of it. Then we're going to get into some video games to wrap out the show. So, because honestly, video games are why we're here, but this is funny. So, let me pull this up real quick. PlayStation 5 shipped 61.7 million units. Xbox Series S sold 28.3 worldwide as of June 2024. Despite the rocky economy of both Xbox and PlayStation, PlayStation consistently comes out on top, even since the PlayStation 2 came out. It has always been ahead of the curve. However, the gap closed between the PS3 and the Xbox 360, with the PS3 coming out by 7.5 million units. We still beat you. Skipping to the present day, the PlayStation has sold significantly higher amount of units, with a number of 61.7 million units being sold compared to Xbox Series XS, which has only sold 28.3 million units as of June 2024. I would like to point out this is one of the parts of the show where I was planning on doing math. That is 56.6 million Xbox Series X and S's. That is a ratio. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. I did the math I explained the math without. Anyways, 60. It's a ratio of 2 to 1, is what I'm trying to say here. It's a little higher than 2 to 1 actually. And so that's global. That means in some places they're whooping their ass 8 to 1, and in some places they're probably 1.2, 1.3 to 1. Probably in the United States is their best market. Everywhere else, they suck. Being Xbox, that is. In a video released by WSJ on YouTube, they did a deep dive into why the Xbox has failed in the market, specifically the Xbox Series X and S. To some, it may come as a surprise, as Microsoft constantly reminded people in their advertising that the Xbox Series S was the most powerful console they'd ever made, yet it still didn't have enough benefits to warrant buying. That's hilarious. Hey guys, we're super powerful, but nobody wants us. Awesome. At least with PlayStation, there are exclusives. Hey, exclusives matter. Who'd have freaking thunk it? With some making their way to PC, Xbox hasn't had any exclusive games in a while. Xbox was needed to play games like Halo and Gears of War, which made it important. However, the launch of their subscription service meant that you no longer needed a console for that. Multiple reports and data have suggested that they have definitively lost the console war to PlayStation and even to the Nintendo Switch. Therefore, they are now shifting their focus on the Xbox Game Pass subscription service to try and funnel money back into Microsoft and their gaming sector. As stated in the video, when consoles were first introduced to the gaming industry and to players, they were often sold as cheaply as possible. This means that companies were selling them at a loss to try to entice people into gaming and become frequent customers. For Xbox, they lose $200 per console. Even though Xbox is the main focus of this video, it can't be forgotten that PlayStation has been struggling financially as of late. Okay, so much so that the original PlayStation 5 price seems to keep increasing in certain parts of the world. Japan saw a $90 increase, and the US saw $5 increases on DualShock controllers. Could just be because everything is increasing over the entire world. But let's say it's because they have bad money problems. And so Zero Steel, member for 3 months, the console war is over. It's PS versus PC, featuring Xbox refugees. That needs to be the name of a song. PS versus PC, featuring the Xbox refugees. Oh, that's funny. So we have these numbers that have come out, and honestly, it's about fucking time. 28.3 million units. There's no caveat. There's no asterisk. At least I didn't see one. I didn't see an asterisk anywhere on here where it talked about, hey, most of the time when you hear console numbers about Xbox, there's always an asterisk that says these numbers have not been validated by Microsoft or verified by Microsoft. I don't have anything like that on here. And so as far as I know, these are accurate numbers. I could be wrong. This is my source. This article. Okay, so just want to point that out. I could be wrong. But basically what this says is PlayStation has absolutely dog-walked Xbox. And what's really funny is that if Xbox would have just tried a little, it probably would have been a hell of a lot closer. Because PlayStation, if you remember, came out of the gate swinging hard and fast. And this year, even though they have kept us fed, and kept us fed well, I'm not going to say they haven't. I'm not saying they don't have games. But they've been kind of lacking first-party wise. Kind of. Not publishing, not second-party contracts, deals, exclusives, things like that. But first-party offerings have been pretty lackluster this year.
Kind of. They've been.
Yeah, right. Exact. Yes. They have been pretty lackluster this year. And so all it took was a couple games. All it took was maybe not sending your games to PlayStation like morons. Maybe not advertising no console required. Maybe not putting your Xbox your Game Pass on every single street corner that would have you. Like you have it on sticks, you have it on toasters, you have it on refrigerators, you've made little like condom jackets for it. Like you, nobody wants you here. Go home. Like I don't want it to be overstated, but PlayStation this year could have. I'm sorry, Xbox this year could have gotten a bit closer to PlayStation. Maybe taken back some of the market share. Maybe. It still would have been hard. I'm not saying it would have been easy. But to get dog walked this bad, to get basically taken out of certain countries, yeah, you can still get them, but it's like you got to know a guy who knows a guy who can get one down the back alley somewhere. Like, I'm just kidding. It's not like that. But you order them online now and then they ship them to you. You can't go to stores and pick them up in several countries. They're like, yeah, we'll just ship it. It's fine. We don't want to give up the space in our store. We'll just pack them in the warehouse because nobody's coming inside the store to buy them. And so like we have all this stuff, and it's one of the things that I was talking about in the Discord earlier, that we now have three companies in gaming, three major companies in gaming: Nintendo, PlayStation, or sorry, Nintendo, Sony, PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox, and those companies are all doing different things now. All of them. One of them is dominating the handheld market and is going to continue. Holy crap. A freaking post about the Nintendo Switch 2 spec sheet came out, and here's what it could be, and I swear to God, PC players, Xbox players, PlayStation guys, every single one of them posted that shit. Nintendo has that shit on lockdown. There's not a snowball's chance in hell that that system, whatever month or year it actually releases, will be the number one item that year. There's just no fucking doubt in my mind. Because every single person that owns any of the other gaming consoles is going to have a Switch too. Hope to God the name is a Super Switch. Just saying. I would buy it on name alone. But so you have them in handheld. You have Xbox, who's kind of talked about dabbling in handheld, but they're going full third party. They're going full subscription. I still think they're going to have a console, something that you can dock to, something that you can like link in and still have like the Xbox Game Pass console or like something like that. You can use this as a UI almost like a digital cable box used to be, where DirecTV, they still do, but like DirecTV gives you a box and it's just the UI, and that's how you link up. It's just a cloud box, but it's something to give you a presence inside the home. I think they're still going to keep that, but it's no longer going to be the focus. Hell, it's already not the focus. And so you have them going the full-on Netflix subscription route. Cool. Or more Amazon than Netflix, because the Fire Stick is that type of deal. But then you have PlayStation, who is going in the way of top of the line, Cadillac, Ferrari, best performance you can get on a console, dog walked the machine that was supposed to eat monsters for breakfast. Like, did it, accomplished it, took out Sega also. Like, they've done this before. They've they've come out victorious once before. Like, literally, it's the Goldberg meme where PlayStation's looking around going, "Who's next?" Like, because when it comes to quality gaming, when it comes to high fidelity frame rates, pushing the boundaries of what consoles have ever been able to do with their video games, with their first-party games, even though they're taking a hell of a lot longer, I'm not worried about them coming out. And when they do come out, I'm not worried about them being amazing. At all. And so you have these three companies going in three completely different directions. And I think that it's going to honestly kill a lot of these news shows and a lot of these console warring channels, because you have all of your content wrapped up in just crapping all over another console, another system, or something that happens in like your space, or they're gonna come in and take your shit, or whatever, or your shit works better than my shit works better than your, like, it's that whole thing, and those channels take it a little too far. Like, that's their whole identity. That's why it's here in a minute. Once I see if Will has anything he wants to add to this, we're gonna go talk about games. We're talking about shit that I'm going to be excited for. We might be talking about something we're not excited for, but we're going to be talking about video games. Because that's what the fuck we're here for. This is the news side of it, but this is a gaming show. And I love the fact that Xbox, Microsoft, PlayStation, Sony, we're no longer in competition. It makes the playground kind of a little bit dull sometimes. You can't run my mouth as much, won't be able to here coming up in the next couple years. But still makes good content. Still talk about video games. Still going to be here. And if I didn't think the number was going to be this bad, to be honest. I really didn't. I thought that Xbox was sitting at 35, 36 maybe, almost 40. It's kind of what I figured. But Will, what does this mean to you? Like, you got anything to add? Do you want to just go ahead and skip to the games? Like, what you got?
Yeah, no, I ain't got shit, bro. It's the same old, same old.
So,
Beat the horse dead, buried. We brought it back, beat it some more, threw it, in the ocean burial. Brought it back, resuscitated it, keep beating on it. Like it's. I mean, there's nothing else to say. And look, I will say one thing though. Today, or not today, but this month's Game Pass offering. Who's getting the best deal out of it? Who's getting Frostpunk 2 PC gaming?
yeah,
PC is
Towerborn.
PC Game Pass. Towerborn PC Game Pass. Enough said.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry. It made so Henry was mentioning this earlier with his live stream. One of the guys in the chat brought up Final Fantasy 16, and he was like, "Man, that game runs like butter. It's amazing. I've heard it's so good." And Henry was like, "Yeah, well, I heard it looks like shit. I heard it has fireworks going all over the screen." And so it just reminded me of what you said about
Well,
like
that's
game.
just because that's what they're used to. So something that's broken on our side to them is fucking
But you're like games
beautiful.
coming over to PC and shit. I'm like, yeah, Xbox is sending their shit over day one, and it's fine. It takes a year to get our shit, and it still barely runs on your piece of shit hardware.
See, and this is and well, I don't
Sorry.
want to extend this. I'll just say this and we'll move on. But the other thing, like the comparison, like the series, like the console, the Xbox console, in comparison to the Pro, is like, are you fucking kidding? Like that is no comparison. That's like comparing an NFL player to a freaking like Pee Wee football. Like what?
What
Like
is?
grow up, dude. The
What is?
comparison between the series, the consoles. It just makes no sense to compare the two. Xbox is not even trying. They're not even in competition anymore.
Oh
They're
yeah,
not even in the running.
it's not a thing anymore. That's if I
Even with
would
the
have
regular PlayStation, it just there's third party
no,
runs better on
and
PlayStation. Everybody knows that.
I'll be honest. People have speculated before that, especially some of the Xbox accounts have been like, you know what? If PlayStation, I'm sorry, if Xbox was the market leader, games would look better on Xbox because it can run these games, but just people aren't optimizing properly for them. And like two things. One, I disagree with that. I think Cerny has it set up to where the PlayStation delivers the most optimal performance. Period. Uh, because if people paid attention to the 9-minute interview, he said, "Hey, we started out focusing on performance, and now the developers want fidelity." Cool. But like Xbox don't give a shit. Xbox, they want to make sure you, you can play your game, get an extra terabyte of power, and call it Gucci. or not power, an extra terabyte of SSD space, and call it done. Fine, great, that's awesome. But I think the days of the channels being able to just ride on the coattails of hate are dying down. That's why channels like Based Game Reviews are so good. That's one of the reasons I like watching their podcast, because they just break down fucking mechanics. That's it. They talk about games. That's all they talk about. Just games. And they also don't, claim to be non-biased or anything. Like, here's the deal. I claim to be consistent. I claim to be straight down the middle as much as humanly possible. I have a bias. Everybody does. You're human. But they do a really good job of trying to keep that bias out of their reviews, which I appreciate. But with that, speaking of games and reviews and things, let's go ahead and get out of the news segment. So anybody who wants to leave, y'all can. There's no more bashing. Well, there's going to be a little bit more, but it's more like Xbox is going to just start catching strays on the channel. Like, we're not... I'm not actively seeking to make fun of them. Sometimes it comes naturally. Nelson Gaming Culture. Remember, for 2 months, Xbox can't even get their own shit to run optimal on their console. I know, which is why I don't believe that narrative. Like, the ID at Xbox, or not ID, the Coalition, or whoever the hell it was, the news you can use if you so choose. Oh, that's funny. Here's what we're going to do real quick. I wanted to pull this up, so that's my channel. That's not what I wanted. Here we go. Here we go. I wonder if y'all can hear this. Will, I don't think you'll be able to. But
oh yeah, what they say? I was running for president. No, I voted. No, what they say?
You switched your support.
I switched. Yeah.
What do you make of all the fake news that it affects?
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
Okay, so I know Will might not have been able to hear that. If he was watching the stream, he did, or he will in a second. But that was the Denzel Washington clip, and I freaking love that. It is fantastic because it's the truth. Like, that's why I ain't speaking on the PS5 Pro. I don't give a shit. I ain't got no new information. I ain't gonna hypothesize. I don't give a shit. I need new information to act on anything. And so a lot of these channels that just try to be first and stir up controversy and all that crap, they're gonna go bye-bye. And it's gonna be a much cleaner place. Yeah, dude, Denzel is the man. Fucking dude's amazing. So, anyways, the first game we're gonna talk about is Astral Blade. I am gonna have the trailer playing, and that is loud as shit. I don't think I'll get copywritten for this. I hope not. We'll find out tomorrow. Let me do this. So, this game has actually been on my freaking radar for a while. I think it was announced shortly after Stellar Blade came out, and I have been excited for it ever since. I haven't been this excited for a Metroidvania since I got done playing Fist and was trying to find another game to play. This looks so cool. Okay. So that is Awaken Astral Blade. It comes out October 22nd. I cannot wait to see how much it's going to be. I think the Steam price is, let me see, shopping. Oh, maybe they don't have a Steam price just yet. Okay, there is no price. Well, shit. Uh, you can go and download the demo already, so that's actually pretty cool. Huh, if I had Steam, I could play this. Damn, I'm not a PC player. Anyways, uh, so yeah, I am super excited about this game. Will, I know that it was one of the few games during the PlayStation State of Plays that actually kind of piqued your interest. So, what are you thinking about it? Are you also, is this like a day one for you? Is it just a day one because you're a gamer, or are you actually looking forward to it?
No, I'm not looking forward to this game. I might buy it
Oh,
on sale or something like that, but yeah, no, it's
do you not do Metroidvanias? Is it the art style? What is it?
yeah, no, I'll do Metrovanias. They're not my preferred, but I, I don't, it's one of my least preferred genres of games. Um,
Oh, technically
but
it's
yeah,
mine
no.
too, but Fist kind of opened that door because I got to play as a rabbit in a mech suit, and it was fun.
Yeah, well, Fist, I like Fist too. I mean, I haven't beat it yet, but
Oh, it's
I
so,
like it
dude.
because it has different gameplay mechanics, and it's not your typical Metrovania. What Metrovanias is either like melee or some sort of shooter, like either weapons or like magic or something like that. But you know Fist is a combination of a little bit of all that, and you get new stuff as you go on, so that made it interesting to me. But not interested in enough to complete it. I will go back to it eventually.
It's such a good game, and the story gets so good. Oh god, it gets really good. About three-fourths of the way through in Fist, you get this story beat that drops, and you're like, oh shit. And like at that point, you just beeline the rest of it. Like you've done everything, you've gone over all the map, you've gone back to all the sections, you fought the new enemies, you found the hidden areas, and this one moment happens, and you're like, oh shit. Fist opened that door. Shut up. Shut up, chat. Also, Outsider Gaming Night, I am trying to say Astral. I think you're hearing Astro because it has everybody's mind kind of fucked right now because we're like getting that gaming reset, those of us who have played it, because it's like, damn, this is just fun. This is just a fun game. It's not meant to be anything else except a fun game. And so maybe you're just a little mind ninja there by Astrobot because I have been saying Astral. And technically it's called Awaken, but Astral Blade sounds better to me. Uh, I am super excited about this. I think the graphics and the gameplay look amazing. Damn. The fact that Warawana, I fucking hate you because you and I talked the other day, and I had told you the only thing that would get me to go over to PC is shit like this, where like being able to play the day or the game early, try out a demo of it, and all that. So I'm gonna have to go see if there's a demo right now on PlayStation because I could download this motherfucker right now, and hell, I could play it on the fucking stream. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Let's get on to the next game. The next game is one that was presented to me by Josh Ayers in the Discord. I didn't have a PSP, so I didn't know what the fuck this game was. I was like, this game actually looks pretty dang cool. It's called Freedom Wars Remastered. It's announced for the PS5 and the PS4, the Switch, and the PC. It's going to be published by Bandai Namco. Now, I did the same thing everybody else did. Haha, Xbox got skipped. That's funny. Once again, they're going to catch strays still. Can't help that. They did it to themselves. But it was a PlayStation uh, PlayStation developed and published game. Japan Studios is the one who did it. Uh, and so it's the remastered version of Sony Interactive Entertainment's 2014 release, released on the PS Vita. Sorry, not the Vita, the Portal, or the not the PSP, the PSV. My bad. It was an action RPG including previously released downloadable content. It will launch for the PS5, PS4, Switch, and PC via Steam on January 9th, 2025 in Japan and January 10th worldwide. First of all, the fact that they're giving the game to Japan first is kind of a nice little touch. I like that, even if it is only one day. And here's what the game is about, though. Listen to this shit. Because Josh explained it a bit, but listen to this shit. This is great. Yeah, sorry, Henry. My bad. And Josh, I apologize. So here's the about section. For the crime of existing, your 1 million year sentence begins today. In a dystopian future, the world is ravaged by population and depleted of natural resources, and humanity lives in sprawling prison complexes called panopticons. Anyone born in this hellscape are deemed sinners. Players seek their freedom by volunteering for extremely dangerous combat operations to compete with other panopticons for what remains of the planet's dwindling resources. You get to create a character. You're going to have 4K resolution and 60 frames per second on performance, or 60 frames per second performance on PlayStation and PC. An overhauled weapon crafting system. Didn't play the first one, so that's exciting. Co-op battles. I can't speak tonight. Join forces with up to 7 players in Freedom Wars cooperative mode. Work together to rescue citizens and take down masses of abductors in fast-paced, action-packed missions with dynamic teamwork and strategy. You'll face ever-evolving challenges that demand skill, coordination, and quick thinking. So, that's really cool. When Dimps received the license from Sony Interactive Entertainment to create a remastered version and were looking for a publisher, Bandai Namco kindly stepped forward and offered to publish. Here is the comparison between the original and the remastered version. It looks clean. It looks a lot better. Like, you can... Yeah. Look at all the artifacting. Like, I don't even have to... This isn't digital found. I'm not zooming in or anything. You can clearly see the white edging on the side of every single piece of this character. Clothing, head, all of it. His hand looks like it literally was cut and pasted on. Now it actually like blends in. Like, that's really cool. And so I'm excited. Josh is excited. Will, this is kind of up your alley. It has co-op. It has multiplayer. It has a lot of the things that you've really been into lately, and it has a story. So what do you feel about this game?
Yeah, this one I'm definitely gonna get day one. This one, the only thing that pisses me off about this is that it comes out in January. But you forget that, or I forget that January is only about 3 months away, about 4 months. But
Right.
you're right. It has all the things that I like in it, but I think this is the shit that PlayStation. I know this is not being published by PlayStation. It's a PlayStation IP, but I think this is. I wish that PlayStation went this route. There are so many games that are on the PSP and or PS Vita and just like PS2, PS1, like those are the games that they should be getting remastered, remade. Um, just stuff that's been out that we haven't seen for such a long time, especially during that PS Vita generation. I feel like there was a lot of hidden gems during that era. And, like Uncharted is another one which I'm playing right now. They have an Uncharted game on there that was made by a different company, not Naughty Dog. And, it was based on what I've heard, it's not the best game, but it's slightly above average. But I think that that's what they should be focusing on is bringing some of those games or a lot of those games into the forefront and gives PlayStation the opportunity to bring some new stuff that's old.
Yeah, I'm all for bringing a lot of these PSP, PS Vita games over. Reason why is because I never had either system. And so, like, I played Crisis Core for the first time on my PS5. Wild experience. Loved every fucking minute of it. I can't wait. Like, for a lot of these games to come back. Because there's so many good games that came out on the systems. At least the ones that, like we always say, the ones that PlayStation publishes. And yes, I understand. Somebody in the chat mentioned it earlier that, well, we still have Concord. Yes, I understand that. listen, one or two in a generation compared to one or two a year, I'll take it. Like, that's still a great track record. And so I can still with confidence say that, listen, when PlayStation puts their name on a game, I expect it to be a certain standard and a certain quality. I don't expect it to be bad. And so I'm excited about this. I'm really... This game, honestly, has my interest. And here's why. Let me show you the trailer. Because this is a game... Let's do this. This is a game that I saw, like, first the design. I saw Josh's hype about it, and so I'm like, okay, wait. Let me pay attention to this. And then I actually looked at the trailer and the artwork. Let me... And so I'll turn my mic off, but it was the artwork that really got me. Wait, that's not it. Hang on. I was like, that doesn't look like what I watched. Was it this? Mm-mm. Here it is. Sorry about that.
Ah, yes, Freedom Wars, the seemingly last bastion of the play.
So I start seeing this, and like the fighting right here, all of it feels very like the games that I love to play. Like, this reminds me of good old JRPG action combat, like just a fun, dumb time. And so I got real excited about it. And then I saw some more people posting about it, and I saw this, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually going to be a fun, like, blast from the past. So this is one instance where I look at a remaster and I'm like, damn, that's really cool. And you can tell they did a lot. Like, looking at the screenshots from earlier, you can tell that a lot of work went into this. And so that's really cool, right? So the next game that we're going to kind of be talking about, and y'all can go watch this, it's on IGN. The next game that we're going to talk about is Horizon Zero Dawn's PS5 PC remaster is very much the real deal. This is from Sammy Barker over at Push Square. And it basically says exactly what we think it says. It's going to be Horizon Forbidden West, better graphics, better gameplay, all of that stuff. Cool. Now, there are people who say that this game does not need a remaster. First, let's define remaster. Remaster, to me, I know that the industry disagrees, and I get that. And hell, maybe Will disagrees too. But a remaster, to me, can do minor changes to armor class, weapons, items you get, things like that. Just little tweaks here and there. Maybe do some quality of life improvements. Usually it's a frame rate upgrade. It's a resolution upgrade. Maybe you can add ray tracing if the tech is there and it can support it. But usually it's graphical, it's quality of life, and maybe a couple little story changes here and there.
Sounds like a remake, my guy.
No, no, because a remake is ground up.
Well, wait, let me explain what I mean by that. What I mean by that is what the developers have been giving us.
Yes.
But yes, that's a remaster. But
yes.
What developers have been giving us, it's not that.
Correct.
Unless you're PlayStation.
That statement, no, bullshit. Don't let them out. Don't.
Who? What game have they made that isn't that?
Last of Us.
That was a remaster. That was a remake.
And it should have been called a remaster.
No, they built it from the ground up. That's a remake. A remaster is just them polishing it up.
Bro, that story is 100% the exact fucking same.
Well, yeah, the story doesn't have to change. As a matter of fact, the story shouldn't change.
In a remake, it should, because you're remaking it.
Yeah, but we're talking about the physical sense, not
That's a
the plot
remaster.
lines. No, bro, a remaster is re-recording it so it has like a CD. You re-record it so it has better audio, so it's up to date with MP3s or whatever. A remaster, or that's a remaster. A remake is going into the studio and singing the songs all over again.
Okay, so hang on. Let's follow your music analogy because I like it. So you have Linkin Park. They released Hybrid Theory. Then they did a HD collection later on, where you could get them all.
Remaster.
Right, it was a remaster.
Hmm.
They did a remake of Hybrid Theory called Reanimation, where the literal thing, the base code, have you, for the songs was pretty much all there. They tweaked a few things, added a few twists and turns in the harmonies and the melodies. A lot of the original band's vocals were the same, but the people they brought in added new content, added a ton of new content, changed
Remake.
the feel of the songs. That is a remake.
Yep.
The Last of Us did the first one. They polished it up, they made it look prettier, they made it run better, and that was about it.
No, bro, they changed the AI. They remade that thing from top
They
to
gave
bottom.
they gave quality of life improvements. Did they change anything with the story, with the content?
But they don't have to change the story.
I disagree. I
How would
disagree.
you-
Everything else is a remaster.
No, dude. You're talking about something completely different.
No, because my baseline is an actual remake.
Yeah, but it's not.
My baseline is Final Fantasy VII remake. They remade the entire game.
Yeah.
Used a
But-
lot of the same plot points, but getting to
it's
them
the
was
same
completely
game.
different. It is
You
not.
can have a different game, or you can have like The Last of Us.
Mhm.
You can keep the story the same, the characters the same, but rebuild it. Meaning, you paint it on a sheet of paper. You paint it all over again on a sheet of paper with updated pencils and markers, so when you look at it, it looks sharper. A remaster is you take that same old painting that you had, and maybe you do the outline so it pops out a little bit more. Maybe you fill in some of the
Right.
stuff that faded. That's a remaster.
So-
They're both the same paintings. They're just completely different ways of doing it.
So Wara brought up a good point. I didn't say all this to start an argument. I wasn't trying to be argumentative. I said it all to set a baseline for where I'm coming from with regards to Horizon. Two things. One, if the speculated price right now
Imagine that.
is actually $60, they can fuck all the way off. Like, it's
If they're charging 60, it should be a remake.
uh-huh. You and I agree on that.
But that doesn't mean that they changed the story. That just means that they went back in, they took the code, they built everything.
Oh no,
from the
man!
ground
You got to
up
add a
again.
few levels. You got to do some other stuff. You got
Then
to.
that would be Nelson hit it. Then that would be a reimagining,
It would
like Final Fantasy Rebirth. That's a reimagining.
remake part 2. But yes, understood. I understand what you're saying. Nelson Gaming Culture, dang, he felt so strongly he had to go ahead and put $2 on it. He said FF7 remake is a reimagining. It has remake in the title, my guy. Like, I understand the developers have even said it is a remake, it is a reimagining. I get that. I am saying that when a lot of places call stuff remakes, what they really mean to say is remaster.
Yeah, Mr. Grimm has it as well. Demon Souls on PS5 was a remake. Exactly. Now, what's a remaster? To me, a remaster is Lollipop Chain Gang. That is a remaster. They took the same game, they ported it over, they changed the lighting, a couple other things. That's it. The Witcher, that's a remaster as well. They took the same game, they changed the lighting, They change a couple things, but the gameplay is the same, the story, everything's the same. A remake is taking like The Last of Us Part 1, where they left that old code and they built it from the ground up for the PS5. That's why they charge $60. You'll notice that the remasters are always cheaper, the remakes are more expensive. The new one, Until Dawn, that one is also a remake, not a remaster.
God, I guess I'm just glad I don't fucking play him. It's
Because
like,
if for Horizon, I don't know what they're doing. If they're gonna do a remake, to me, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's worth it. But
you,
obviously, I'm not the, like you guys say, I'm not the audience, even though I own every single console and every single, whatever.
yeah, but we're
But
talking about Horizon
the
right now.
game looks good. I just platinumed the game before Forbidden West came out, and I mean the game looks great. And even on PS5, it has the FPS boost on there. So I mean, I don't know. And also, from what I think I read, it said they were working on it for 2 years. So I mean, it doesn't seem like a long investment of time. So I
No,
don't know if it's a remake or remaster on that one. I think it would just be a remaster if I were to
on
guess, not
which
a
one?
remake. Until Dawn,
Uh,
Horizon.
Yo, you mean Horizon? Horizon, they are
Yes.
calling it a remaster, which is exactly
Okay.
what I think the game needs. Couple
Yeah.
quality of
Yeah. It
life
shouldn't need
improvements.
a remake. Yeah.
No, a couple quality of life improvements, a couple things. My sticking point is going to be the price. Like it's gonna be the complete edition, but
It's
unless
gonna be
they're,
like $40.
dude, that's honestly that's the price point I want. $50 is the price point I would accept.
I mean,
Like,
that's how much they
just
charge for Uncharted. No, wait, Uncharted. I can't remember exactly. I think I paid 50, but I don't know if that was the actual retail price. But man, what game was $50 from PlayStation? So Last of Us Part 2 was
that's
50
smart,
bucks.
Josh.
So that one was $50 because they didn't remake it. They remastered it for the PS5. So you'll notice if it's a remake, they will do the full 70 like Until Dawn. If it's a remaster, they'll sell it for a cheaper price. So I don't think and until which is the one that came out recently, the complete edition. Was it Horizon Forbidden West? Even that
Yes.
was like $50, I think it was. $50 and included a DLC. So even something like that, like a complete edition, it also have a cheaper price. So remasters and complete editions will generally be a little bit cheaper. Well, they won't charge you the full 70, they'll charge you the 50. And if you're a PlayStation owner, you just get the $10 upgrade most of the time.
Yeah, I
So just
was
like Last of Us 2 was a $10 increase for the remaster.
Yeah, I was looking it up earlier, and there were like some back end like website shopping things that like, hey, we found this, like they always do, like, yeah, we found this on the back end of somebody's page, and like, oh, look, it shows that it's $60, and like, um, you're not getting 60 for a remaster. I loved Horizon Zero Dawn, absolutely adored the game. I came in late to the party, I got it for $15 and I played the absolute shit out of that game. Got the full big ass armor set, the one where you got to collect all the stupid things to get all the keys to unlock. It's the thing you find in the first section. Like,
That was
I,
my favorite armor.
bro, I remember playing that, and I literally spent way more time in the first section than I needed to because I thought that I could find the other keys in the first section, and I thought it
I
was
mean,
like the first stage armor.
how long did it take you to beat that game? Do you remember?
85, 86.
The first one?
Yeah.
Oh wow, took you a while. Yeah, because I mean, for the first one,
It does,
I
yes.
I beat it twice, no, 3 times, 4 times. Yeah, three or 4 times, and I think I have a total of oh shit, never mind. I got 136 hours in that game.
Yeah, I'm about to say like it's
Yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah, and I mean, so remember with Horizon, you should be getting the game. Then you should also be getting the Frozen Wild DLC as well, which that's pretty significant DLC. I mean, I think that
Imagine
alone is
that.
like 6 hours. So I mean, it's a big bulky game. I mean, it if they charge $50, I mean, it's worth it. I mean, I probably won't buy it. I just I just got the platinum before Forbidden West, and I think the game looks good. And with the FPS boost that it got for running on the PS5, I mean, the game runs well. And those are the remasters that I'm like, PlayStation, what are you doing, man? But hey, the customers speak with their wallet, and people keep buying the shit. Now, I think that maybe PlayStation is who said this? I think it was Skillup who said this, where he said that Horizon is a great IP, but it's a little hollow. And I kind of agree with him in the sense that with The Last of Us, like people will go ahead and buy that game just because it's The Last of Us. They can literally just make not even make any changes to the game, just put it in a new disc cover and sell it, and people will buy it because they love The Last of Us. I don't think people will do that with Horizon. Even me, who I like Horizon way more than the last, not way more, but I prefer it over The Last of Us. I'm not just gonna buy it because it has a new, disc cover or anything like that. And for The Last of Us, I think people will buy it. I mean, people bought it like what 2, 3 times during the PS4 generation, So I think that there's just different IPs will demand different things, but I don't know if Sony understands that. I think they think, oh, well, Horizon sold 20, 30 million copies. Yeah, we can get a remaster out of it and still sell a shit ton like we did with The Last of Us. Where I don't think the IPs hold the same value to the gamers. I think that the value with The Last of Us is way more than Horizon. So I don't think that Horizon is going to sell nowhere near as what The Last of Us did.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Zero Dawn is one of the, like those beloved titles almost. Like I could agree with you if this was like, if we were on the PS6 and we were talking about, Forbidden West, because I think Forbidden West, the way the story went, did kind of sour a few folks. But I don't know. I really feel that it's no. I really feel that like this would do well. And Warwana with the $2, appreciate you, man. He said Last of Us One called a remake because remaster sounds dumb. Probably true. Because remaster you can't re that doesn't work. But no, that's fun. We do have some other games coming out. There's a lot. Like I'm just over here on uh, the PlayStation website right now because there is a shit ton of stuff. Like you can come over here, you can go to PS5, you can go to games, and then you can just look at everything. First of all, this is how you fucking do marketing. Like Jesus, good gosh, look at this shit. Look how pretty this is. Let me pull this up real quick. Da, 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 da. Okay, look at this. This is marketing. I went to PS5 games and boom, Astrobot. Next, Helldivers 2. Both games stupid fun. Have a blast with either one. We're here for kids, and then we got a freaking dude down here holding a gosh dang assault rifle. Like that's awesome. With the planes flying, like that's how you do marketing. Uh, but like you can come down here, you can look at all this shit, and we have like Rise of the Ronin. I know that's already out, but like Stellar Blade, God of War, Last of Us. Hell, we just talked about that. Horizon Forbidden West. Interesting. Just talked about that. Gran Turismo, Ratchet and Clank, Returnal, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Like so much good advertising. You can just click on Coming Soon right here, and it takes you right down to it. You got the Until Dawn game. You got Death Stranding 2. You got Monster Hunter Wilds. I think it was Henry in our chat who said, who needs showcases when you can just be subscribed to the PlayStation YouTube channel? And he ain't wrong. Like, you could literally get so many new games fed to you all the time. It's actually pretty nuts because they release a ton of shit on that channel all the time. Also, if you pay attention to your PlayStation Network, they will also let you know that there's a ton of shit coming out. Like you got all the big ones that paid for marketing, or Sony has their marketing, or or whatnot that are right here, like FC25. Come on, that's because EA puts it right here. That's because EA says, hey, we're going to market the shit out of this because we make a ton of money off of it. So do y'all. But look, down here you got Plucky Squire, you got Lost Records, you got The Little Devil Inside. There's Assassin's Creed Shadows, The Casting of Frank Stone. Like, there's so many freaking games coming out, and people who look at gaming and are like, yeah, there's nothing to play. You know, y'all have problems. Like, y'all either have problems or you don't have a PlayStation, and in which case you have problems. But
Well, I also think that those people, or not all of them, because you can't, absolutes, but I think a big portion of people are also stuck in the PS3 era, Xbox 360 era. So, like, I've been noticing, especially with Space Marines too, that the people that I normally hear say shit like that, like there isn't anything to play, they've fallen in love with Space Marine 2. And because Space Marine 2, it's literally that. It's a PS3 game that it's in with modern controls and modern graphics and shit. But I think people have to, I talk about this all the time. Nelson says that I play too much shit because I may play games that he wouldn't be interested in. But you have to think that I spent so many years being a casual and just playing the 2, 3 games per year. The Call of Duty for me was MLB The Show and sometimes Madden, where you have to just say, you know what, I want to try something new. And instead of looking for excuses to not play a game, look for excuses to play a game. And I'll give you an example. I was actually going to say this for a YouTube video, but I'll say this now with you guys. For me, one of the games that got me going into trying new shit was Titanfall.
such a
It
good
was a
game.
shooter. It was, had mechs. I love mechs. I also love Ace Combat 7. I was like, okay, let me play this. And you play that, and the story, I like the story of that game. Then the second game that got me in my road to playing all sorts of different shit was Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then the last one that really opened my mind up was The Last of Us. The Last of Us was a really hard choice for me to play. I've heard everybody say that it's a masterpiece and all that, but I come from Call of Duty. I come from that quick, gameplay. And the thing that made me want to play The Last of Us was I like zombies. So that was my excuse to play the game. It was the zombies. I was like, all right, even if I'm going to be doing a lot of sneaking in this game, at least I'll be sneaking around zombies. And next thing you know, I love the game. It gave me a good mixture of action and what the bots called movie games, which is this is not Hellblade, right? But it gave me that good combination. And next thing you know, you start looking for excuses to play a game and not the opposite of not to play a game. And all of a sudden, you start to find things that you did not know that you like. It's like trying foods, man. If you keep sticking to the same old, you're gonna get tired of the same old. And then when they don't give you the same old, you're gonna be frustrated because of what you're used to, accustomed to. And this is where PS Plus really comes in clutch because now financially you don't have to make a huge investment. I mean, 2, 3 years ago, you would have had to make that huge investment, even though they had what was it called, PS Now,
Hmm.
or whatever. Even with PS Now, yeah, they had games, but it wasn't appetizing. Now, I mean, this year alone, we've had how many day one games drop on PS Plus? I mean, 4 or 5, 6. I mean, I forget. It's a whole bunch. But now the menu has widened. Your expenses are minimal if you think about it, and you have way more chances to experiment. And that goes for anybody, for people who like shooters or people who like platformers or Souls games or whatever it is that you like. It is a great opportunity to go ahead and experiment a little bit. And if you do, there's always going to be something for you to play. Always. 5 years ago, I would have slapped myself if I would have told myself I'm going to be playing the Plucky Squire. I would have, just based on the art style and the trailer. I'm like, what? Like, what are you doing? That's for like my kid, and I'm having a great time. I'm actually in a level where I'm stuck. I'm like, oh shit, where do I find this word at? But that's my recommendation to you: is look for excuses to play a game. don't look for excuses to not play a game. You're really doing yourself a disservice, and the entry fee is really, really cheap to do so.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I fully agree. And speaking of playing games, it is now 11 o'clock. We are going to get out of here relatively on time tonight, so I am super excited about that. I'd love to stay. I found a few more games that I want to talk about, but I got to save my voice. I have another show to do tomorrow night. Spoiler cast, come back tomorrow night, 8:30. I have David Faulkner, uh, Kofi, Creative Kofi, Cosmic Hero, and Josh Ayers and myself are all going to be here. We're going to be discussing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is Remake Part 2. And I'm super excited about that. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. A couple of the guys have got the platinum. Uh, I'm actually might be the only one that didn't get the platinum. Anyways, so we're gonna have some really good talks on that. Come by, stop in tomorrow. Thank everybody tonight for the gifteds. You can find all of Will's stuff down below in the description. He has a YouTube channel. He does random lives. He does videos on gaming topics and stuff like that. Go check that out. You can also chit chat with him in our Discord. It is well, most of the time you can. You can chit chat with him in the Discord. The link is in the description. I'm always there. A lot of guys you see in the chat are always there, having a great time. We are on. Somebody's in there 24/7. So yeah, come on, join us. Corey Massey. Hey, what's up, Corey? Sorry, I've been away from the computer making more tea because I have to keep my throat going. Mr. Grimoire, I'm about 370 hours. That's damn. What are y'all talking about? Oh, Space Marines. Damn, 370 hours?
Damn,
Really?
that's a lot.
I'm so pissed today, Corey. I streamed some PvP, got my tail kicked for 4 matches. Henry, I went so hard when it came out, and now not so much. War 1, I'm about 370 hours in, still haven't finished it. I take my time with the game. I don't like rushing through games. Or even trophy hunting. I just play and enjoy. What game? Enjoy gaming, man. Oh, Baldur's Gate 3. Got it. Okay. It's like, wait, damn. 370 hours in a game that just came out? Jeez. I need a job that lets me do that. Anyways, guys, thank y'all so much for showing up. Hit the like button on your way out. If you liked it, subscribe. If not, still subscribe. I'll take your subscription. I don't give a shit. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thrifty been selling his throat to pay for that pro. Damn. Damn. I mean, no. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. Will, I kind of told folks where they could find you, like the links and everything, but what's the name of your stuff, dude? What you got?
Will777JP, man. Go follow me on YouTube.
Simple, awesome. That's why we like them. Warawana, hit all the freaking buttons. Or sorry, Josh Ayers just said hit all the buttons. Is the staff card still on there? I don't know what that means. I don't know what staff card. Okay. Anyways, y'all have a good night. And as always, there's a lot of shit coming out. Speak with your wallet. Stay